Hello, I'm Bishop Earl Boyea of the Diocese of Lansing. This July 2026, we will be celebrating the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence of the United States of America. While Catholics were very few in number in North America back then, they did have a presence. Please join me over these 7 weeks to reflect on the lives of our fathers and mothers in the faith in what today is the United States. Today in this 6th presentation, we now look to the life of Father John Carroll and his leadership in the colonial struggle and the small Catholic Church in the new United States. John was born at Upper Marlborough in Maryland in 1735, 2 years before his cousin Charles. Educated by Jesuits until he was 13, he and his cousin were sent to St. Omer College in France. In 1753, John joined the Jesuits and was ordained in Belgium in 1761, where he stayed and taught. When Pope Clement XIV suppressed the Jesuits in 1773, Father John returned to his family home, from which he ministered as a secular priest as best he could, along with the other former Jesuits currently living in the American colonies. Father Carroll became more involved with the independence movement when the Continental Congress on February 15, 1776, authorized a mission to Canada to convince their northern neighbors to join them in opposition to Britain and become the 14th colony. Benjamin Franklin, Samuel Chase, and Charles Carroll of Carrollton were appointed to this mission. Charles asked that his cousin, Father John, also be appointed, since he might be able to convince the Bishop of Quebec, Jean-Olivier Briand, to bring the Quebec Catholics to the American side. Father Carroll feared mixing religion with politics, and also felt that the Americans should be content with Canadian neutrality if that could be attained. He also believed that Canada did not have the same motives for redress, and as a matter of justice, had not exhausted the petition process as their southern neighbors seemed to have done. The First Continental Congress on October 21, 1774, had addressed a letter to the people of Great Britain regarding Quebec. Nor can we suppress our astonishment that a British Parliament should ever consent to establish in that country a religion that has deluged your island with blood and dispersed impiety, bigotry, persecution, murder, and rebellion through every part of the world. 5 days later, the Congress wrote to the people of Canada, "We are too well acquainted with the liberality of sentiment distinguishing your nation to imagine that any difference of religion will prejudice you against a hearty amity with us." Clearly, the Americans knew how to speak out of both sides of their mouth. The French Catholics to the north would find themselves unable to trust the colonists. Nonetheless, Father Carroll joined the band as they left New York on April 2, 1776. They carried documents to Montreal promising religious liberty and the rights of conscience. On April 29th, they arrived at the city which had been occupied by General Benedict Arnold and the Patriots, who were turning the inhabitants against themselves by their confiscation of goods to support the military effort. Bishop Briand, in favor of British rule, warned his clergy not to listen to nor harbor Father Carroll. Sensing failure, and with the British destruction of the American attempt on Quebec City, Father Carroll and Mr. Franklin left Montreal together on May 11. Franklin wrote from New York at the end of the journey, "I find I grow more feeble, and I think I could hardly have got along so far but for Mr. that is Father Carroll's friendly assistance and tender care of me." Mr. Chase and Mr. Carroll left later, reporting to the Congress on June 11, 1776, about their ill-fated trip. We shall follow Father Carroll's subsequent career next week.